Greetings, everyone. This is Justin Cole, Senior Regulatory Compliance Advisor here at Mitratech Continuity. Welcome to our RegFacts briefing for the month of October 2025, where we cover all of the action in the world of United States federal financial institution regulatory compliance. Expert analysis-driven reg alerts have been issued to our clients on the following topics in order that they may stay up to date and aware of all their regulatory change management requirements. Overall, the ROC team this month processed a total of 33 RegAdvisor alerts. Going a little bit deeper into the details of this, we had 7 final rule alerts during the month, 2 action alerts, 3 proposed rule alerts, and as usual, we had our slew of information alerts, which totaled 21. During all of this, the ROC team achieved a 91% compression rate, meaning that we took 357 pages of regulatory issuances and compressed this down to 32 pages for our clients to review in order to keep up to date of their compliance change management requirements. We had 73 compliance questions answered during the month through our free compliance help feature. We had 32 state alerts issued. We had 7 enforcement action alerts issued, 2 of which involved individuals. Total fines on these aggregated to $5.7 million. Ask your account manager how to add RegAdvisor state and enforcement actions to your subscription if you're interested. Getting into the meat of the alerts, first up, we had our final rules. We had OFAC issued a final rule to rename the Syrian sanctions regulations to the Promoting Accountability for Assad and Regional Stabilization Sanctions regulations, and to implement 2 recent executive orders. This is effective September 25th, 2025, with mandatory compliance on the same date. Next up in our final rules, the Federal Reserve Board decreased the rate for primary credit at each Federal Reserve Bank by 25 basis points, from 4.5% to 4.25%. As a result, secondary credit decreased from 5% to 4.75% rate. The changes are effective October 2nd, 2025, with mandatory compliance the same date. We had the Board of the Governors of the Federal Reserve decrease the rate of interest paid on balances maintained at the Federal Reserve banks. It decreased by 0.25% down to 4.15%. Changes were effective October 2nd, 2025, with mandatory compliance the same date as well. The CFPB issued a final rule to rescind the amendments to the procedures for supervisory designation proceedings. The amendments occurred 2022 to 2024. This restores the 2013 rule with certain revisions. It's effective October 27, 2025. FinCEN issued a final rule that prohibits domestic financial institutions from opening or maintaining correspondent accounts in the U.S. for or on behalf of Huon Group, a Cambodia-based financial institution found to be a primary money laundering concern. This action adopts the May 2025 proposed rule in entirety. This is effective November 17, 2025. Mandatory compliance the same date. CFPB also did one on small business data collection and reporting. The compliance dates were extended again. This is effective December 1st, 2025, with mandatory compliance now no later than July 1st, 2027, or October 1st, 2027, depending on a cover lender's volume. NACA issued a final rule to clarify the definition of international ACH transaction entries. It's effective September 18, 2026, with mandatory compliance on the same date. We had our action alerts. FIN renewed their geographic targeting order effective October 10, 2025 to February 28, 2026, requiring title insurance companies in certain locations to identify the natural persons behind companies and non-financed purchases of residential real estate. Compliance with the final rule was recently extended to October 1st, 2026. This is effective October 9th, 2025, with mandatory compliance October 9th, 2025 as well. Next up, the OCC issued a bulletin 2025-32 to inform institutions of updates to a Spanish language equal housing poster. It's effective October 15, 2025. Next up, we had our proposed rules. The Treasury Department issued a request for comment on the Genius Act, new ways financial institutions can detect illicit activity involving digital assets. Comments are due October 17, 2025. On Genius Act implementation, Treasury Department issued an advance notice of proposed rulemaking to solicit comments on questions relating to the implementation of the Genius Act, the U.S. stablecoins. Comments are due November 4th, 2025. Next up, we had a proposed rule from the NCUA, National Credit Union Administration, that would formalize the elimination of reputation risk from its supervisory activities. Comments are due December 22nd, 2025. Getting into our information alerts, Federal Reserve Board issued SR 25-3 to inform their supervised financial institutions and FRB staff that FinCEN added a new special measure that can be imposed on entities designated as being of primary money laundering concern. It's effective September 25, 2025. OFAC replaced General License 13 with General License 13.0 under its Russian sanctions regime, and correspondingly updated two frequently asked questions. It's effective September 29, 2025. FDIC issued Financial Institution Letter 47-2025, updating the instructions and guidance for filing the call report for September 30th, 2025. This is effective September 30th, 2025. FinCEN issued an exemptive relief order to postpone reporting requirements for the residential real estate transfers reporting rule until March 1st, 2026. It's effective September 30th, 2025. Mandatory compliance again, March 1st, 2026. The National Credit Union Administration announced that it will remain open and individual accounts will remain federally insured during the government shutdown. It's effective October 1st, 2025. Interagency issuance from the Farm Credit Administration, the FDIC, the Federal Reserve Board, the NCUA, and the OCC to clarify that lenders may continue to make loans that are subject to the federal flood insurance statutes without requiring federal flood insurance during the program when the National Flood Insurance Program is not available. It's effective October 1st, 2025. CUA issued a press release to describe its no regulation by enforcement policy statement. It's effective October 1st, 2025. NCUA also issued a notice of funding opportunity to announce the availability of grants for low-income designated credit unions. This is effective October 1st, 2025. Farm Credit Administration released its National Oversight Plan for fiscal year 2026. It's effective October 1st, 2025. The FFIEC did a data entry software release 2. This is for those submissions due March 2nd, 2026. This is effective October 6th, 2025. OCC released Bulletin 2025-26 to highlight flexibility for community banks when tailoring their model risk management practices. Those are banks up to $30 billion in assets. This is effective October 6, 2025. OCC also issued a Bulletin 2025-25 to announce that it will no longer examine community banks using the procedures and standards in the Retail Non-Deposit Investment Products booklet. This is effective October 6, 2025. Department of Treasury and the IRS issued Notice 2025-55 to provide remittance transfer providers relief from failure to deposit penalties for the excise tax until the fourth calendar quarter of 2026. It's effective October 7, 2025. Federal Reserve Board issued a frequently asked questions related to mutual capital instruments by banking organizations under Regulation MM. It's effective October 8, 2025. FinCEN, jointly with the federal banking agencies and the National Credit Union Administration, issued 4 new frequently asked questions regarding suspicious activity reports. It's effective October 9, 2025. Federal Reserve Board issued SR 25-5 to inform FRB regulated mutual banking organizations of recently issued FAQs related to Regulations Q, and this is effective October 22nd, 2025. Comments are due June 30th, 2026 for the proposed template term sheets. CFPB issued an interpretive rule that replaced the 2022 interpretive rule and clarifies that the Fair Credit Reporting Act generally preempts state laws concerning credit reporting. This is effective October 28, 2025. There was a court order from the Eastern District of Kentucky issued to enjoin the CFPB from enforcing the Personal Financial Data Rights Final Rule until the CFPB has completed its reconsideration process. It's effective October 29, 2025. OCC issued a bulletin to announce that effective January 1st, 2026, it is eliminating internally mandated examination activities for community banks up to $30 billion in assets, not required by statute or regulation. It's effective January 1st, 2026. CFPB published its spring 2025 agenda. And the FCA issued an informational memorandum to encourage system institutions to strengthen and support mental health among its agricultural producers. That's it for the issuances this month. Please join us again next month where we cover the items related to the month of November 2025. Thank you again for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next time.